History of monetization. The history of monetization is very much related to the evolution of money. At the dawn of humanity, bartering was used in lieu of money to buy goods. As early man began to rear domestic livestock, one of the earliest forms of barter included cattle, sheep, as well as vegetables and grain. Then the money started evolving simultaneously with the evolution of human. Socio-economical structure. Beginning, barter. Barter is the exchange of resources or services for mutual advantage. Plants and animals have been bartering, in symbiotic relationships, for millions of years. 9,000–6,000 BC, which throughout history and across the globe have included not only cows but also sheep, camels, and other livestock, are the first and oldest form of money. With the start of agriculture, other vegetable or plant products as a standard form of barter in many cultures. 1200 BC, cowrie shells. The first use of cowries, the shells of a mollusk that was widely available in the shallow waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, was in China. Historically, many societies have used cowries as money, and even as recently as the middle of this century. Cowries have been used in some parts of Africa. The cowrie is the most widely and longest used currency in history. Some cowrie shells images. 1000 BC, first metal money and coins. Bronze and copper cowrie imitations were manufactured by China at the end of the Stone Age and could be considered some of the earliest forms of metal coin. Metal tool money, such as knife and spade monies, was also first used in China. These early metal monies developed into primitive versions of round coins. Chinese coins were made out of base metals, often containing holes so they could be put together like a chain. Some first metal money and coins images. 500 BC, modern coinage. Outside of China, the first coins developed out of lumps of silver. They soon took the familiar round form of today. Were stamped with various gods and emperors to mark their authenticity. These early coins first appeared in Lydia, which is part of present-day Turkey, but the techniques were quickly copied and further refined by the Greek, Persian, Macedonian, and later the Roman empires. Unlike Chinese coins, which depended on base metals, these new coins were made from precious metals such as silver, bronze, and gold, which had more inherent value. Some modern coinage images. 118 BC, leather money. Leather money was used in China in the form of 1-foot square pieces of white deerskin with colorful borders. This could be considered the first documented type of banknote. Then paper currency. The first known paper banknotes appeared in China. In all, China experienced over 500 years of early paper money, spanning from the 9th through the 15th century. Then beginning in 1455, the use of paper money in China disappeared for several hundred years. This was still many years before paper currency would reappear in Europe. Some paper currency images. 1500, Potlatch. Potlatch comes from a Chinook Indian custom that existed in many North American Indian cultures. It is a ceremony where not only were gifts exchanged, but dances, feasts, and other public rituals were performed. In some instances, potlatch was a form of initiation into secret tribal societies. Because the exchange of gifts was so important in establishing a leader's social rank. 1535, wampum. The earliest known use of wampum, which are strings of beads made from clam shells, was by North American Indians in 1535. The Indian word wampum means white, which was the color of the beads. 1816, the gold standard. Gold was officially made the standard of value in England in 1816. At this time, guidelines were made to allow for a non-inflationary production of standard banknotes which represented a certain amount of gold. Banknotes had been used in England and Europe for several hundred years before this time, but their worth had never been tied directly to gold. In the United States, the Gold Standard Act was officially enacted in 1900, which helped lead to the establishment of a central bank. 1930, end of the gold standard. The massive depression of the 1930s, felt worldwide, marked the beginning of the end of the gold standard. In the United States, the gold standard was revised and the price of gold was devalued. This was the first step in ending the relationship altogether. The British and international gold standards soon ended as well, and the complexities of international monetary regulation began. The present. In this digital age, economic transactions regularly taking place electronically, without the exchange of any physical currency. Digital cash in the form of bits and bytes will most likely continue to be the currency of the future. Digital currency is being carried and transfers,